Mangaka here for you, and I told you guys I would do it. You were all so polite and grateful and left me some likes in the one video I asked for the likes on, and since you did hit the limit, or at least go over the limit, I am now giving you some spawn trapping guides on Black Ops itself. And I'm going to be doing some of the more easier maps that are really easy to spawn trap on, because I still have to fiddle around with other maps and figure out where some good places to spawn trap them on in Domination, as opposed to Demolition, because Demolition, you can really go up in the enemy spawn and not flip it at all, whereas in Domination, you can like not even walk within like 50 feet of it before they're spawning behind you. Very weird thing in Black Ops, but nevertheless, I'm going to do my best to give you guys some tips and locations in which you can affect spawn trap, and some great ways to play locations. I'm going to show you multiple different spots, and this is not only for you to use, but for an entire team to use. This guide is meant not only just to show individual spots and how to play them, but also to organize them all in a way that an entire team can use them. And this guide is also going to be working for my teammates, and basically at the beginning of the game, you can pick, you can have everybody to decide which spot they want to enforce a spawn trap on. And so, without any further ado, I'm going to get right into this for you guys, and I'm going to start with the map WMD. This is a really easy map to spawn trap a team on, and it's a lot of fun to do it on this map especially. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's start the match. You're going to have to forgive the free spectating mode kind of sucks in Black Ops, and whereas in Modern Warfare 2 you can control your elevation, go up and down. You can't do that in Black Ops. It's retarded actually, and I don't know why Treyarch didn't do it like they should have. But nonetheless, whatever, we're going to do our best here to show you the spots. And so we're going to start off with, I believe it's CDOM spawn traps. I'll spawn in a minute. I'll give you the correct terminology, if you will. But we're going to start off here with some spots to when your enemy is spawning over here by this flag I'm going to right now. See, I have to go under it. This flag, I believe it's CDOM. It could be ADOM. I'll find out in a couple of so minutes. So they'll be screaming at the TV, "You're wrong!" Or computer screen, excuse me. That'd be kind of cool if you could watch me on TV. And now today's episode of CD Megeka Spawn Trapping Tips. Anyways, when we're spawn trapping here, we're going to look at three distinct sides of the map: the right, middle, and left side of the map. And this is the first area you're going to play. We're going to call this by the stairway. I can refer to this as the stairway always. And you have the truck right there. But this is a great area to spawn trap on. I'll show you how to play it within a moment. I'm just giving you the areas, their relative location to one another, and how to play, and so you can get the idea of the whole picture in your head. Then I'm going to go into a first-person perspective and show you how to play them. This is called the stairway. This is going to be a great area to lock down traffic from on Domination, I hope, as long as it doesn't flip the spawn, and Demolition. Now our second area is going to be this middle building right here. We're going to call this a blue warehouse, I suppose, or warehouse 43. You can come up with your own call out for it. You have all these areas, but we're going to be using this again to enforce a spawn trap here. In a minute I'm going to flip the script and we're going to focus on spawn traps for the other side of the map. And now I gotta get out of here, see? I mean, I can't drop down the stairs, I have to go out the same way I came in. And our third and final area, if I can get to it, let's see, is going to be B-Dom Warehouse. I call it B-Dom Warehouse because B-Dom is right next to it and B-Bomb is actually in it. Let's see, can I get in there? No, but there's a little area over by B-Dom Warehouse where I'm going to show you guys some good places set up in. Anyways, without any further ado, let's go look at how we're going to play those spots. So I'm going to spawn in Black Ops. Why not? I'm going to use this class of Marathon. Okay, so this is CDOM flag. This is CDOM flag. Excuse me, I should remember that the over there is C is A flag. But for CDOM, okay, we're going to look at spawn trapping on CDOM flag, and we're going to look first off over here at the stairway. Okay, this is the stairway, and what I like to do is in Demolition, I like to come up here, crouch, and just basically kind of clip over this thing. Basically what happens when the enemy has CDOM, they spawn in this back building there. And so all you have to, and you'll generally get them, they'll also occasionally spawn right here, but they won't spawn here if you're at the stairway right here. They just won't do that. So that's a little bit of pushing the spawn out. But they'll keep spawning in here, and they're going to try and come out either through here, go down this stairway, or they're going to come out here, try and get into this building right here. They'll do this a lot in Demolition when they got A-Bomb, which is right there. They're going to do this a lot and try to control this building, and so controlling this building will be imperative to your success on offense as well as defense. Or they're going to go down the stairs, and another thing they could do as they come out of their spawn is run through these big bay doors right here to get to B-Dom or get into the blue warehouse, or they're going to come down this pathway here to get into B-Dom warehouse. And as you can see, if you remember the spots I showed you, they're running right out into the spots in the areas which I said that you should control on the map if you want to win. And so let's look at how to play this area of the map right here. we're going to clip over here generally, and occasionally we're going to get guys coming out this back door, and you can kind of pick them off with relative ease. One thing you do have to worry about, though, is grenades. I had one guy in a demolition game constantly throw flashbangs at me, and it was annoying as hell. Just really it is. So if you're going to play this spot, I'd recommend Flak Jacket or Tactical Mask Pro. And Tactical Mask Pro is kind of difficult to get, but basically you want to play it smart as well. You don't want to just stay here all the time because you're going to get, like all this crap thrown at you, namely. And so a good thing to do is to throw down a motion sensor right about in here, in this building. This way it gives you good cover. It tells you when a guy's on the stairs, when he's right there. And then basically what you can do is come up here, kill a couple guys, and if you think they're going to come back from revenge kill, fade back to, I wouldn't say right about here, because right here you have an elevation problem and you're kind of not well covered. I'd probably go prone right about here and pick people off as they kind of come up. Generally, you'll tell when a guy's coming because when they come from payback kills, they'll clear the area out with stun grenades, and then they'll kind of push forward either cautiously or pretty recklessly. It depends on how long you've been playing the area and how long you've been outsmarting them. Another great thing to do is to come right here and just peek through this doorway. As they run down, they're going to run right by here, and people won't generally come through this building. You have a couple guys who will, but if they do, you'll be ready to pick them off, and if they do come out, you can just kind of look over here and just spray them down. And then you can just keep up fade back. You can use this truck for cover, and then you can kind of reduce visibility and wait. The only time you can see them is when they're out in the open right here. Easily clean them off. Or if they're going to come through this building right here where my motion sensor is, you'll be able to tell with the motion sensor. Only time this won't happen is Hacker Pro, but you generally don't run into that a lot in Black Ops, but be aware of that situation. So I recommend running motion sensor here. Anyways, that's a look at how to control this stairway area, and if you do that, you can cut off traffic in this entire area right here just by mining that one choke point, and that is the key to spawn trapping. Staying in an area and locking down a choke point. Too often do my teammates, kill a guy and keep on pushing forward constantly, and they don't just stay in an area and fortify that position, and so they'll come out here, push forward after killing a guy, they're right out in the open, they got two guys printed on them, and then they'll die, and then this whole area behind them is totally wide open. You don't want to do that. You want to keep staying alive, use as much cover as you can, clip, do all sorts of dirty little things to make the gunfight in your advantage. As Woody's gamer tag would say, control the engagement. Now let's look at controlling the bay doors. We want to come up here and essentially, keep in mind, keep good communication with the guy at the stairway. If you're controlling the stairs and you go down and say, stairs are open. And that way these guys can mine this area too, because there's going to be guys kind of flanking around here, trying to get into the warehouse right there, coming through here. They'll try and come through here if they're going for A-bomb though. But here, in domination terms, in demolition, you generally want a guy in this building up right here that I'm shooting into. You want one of your teammates up there and preventing anybody else from getting into it. That way, the enemy team does not have a building in which they can look down and kill people who are at A-bomb. That's just a little demolition note. In domination, do not go into that building because you could flip their spawn. So the best thing to do is have two guys in this building actually. One guy in here, kind of just making sure that people stay out of this building. Not really much weights you can pick up from it. Just kind of be sure that you kind of just vary your position a little bit. And then you want another guy in this building watching these bay doors. As the enemy spawn, they're going to be trying to come through the bay doors or get up on that railway right there. And so you want a guy who's constantly kind of just picking them off. Be sure that you just keep on kind of fading back in the doorway, going prone, making it really difficult for you to be kind of seen. This is a great way to just pick up people who are going to B-dom, and then also you can just kind of use this room as well. Use the adjacent room. So play from this window and play from this window. And also be sure that if you lose a guy at B warehouse, you can look into B warehouse from there, and also reinforce B-bomb from this building as well. So this is a good building for it. One thing you're going to have to be wary about is that if you miss a person, they could be coming up these stairways to try and get you. So either have a claymore at the top of the stairs right here, or another motion sensor on this side. So that's why I say two guys need to lock down this building, because there's so many ways to get into it. Just have two guys lock it down, you'll have this building, and it'll be really reinforced. And again, you're supposed to be watching bay doors here, warehouse right here if you do lose the guy who's covering warehouse. And then you should also have a guy over here monitoring that building right there. So now let's pick up our motion sensor, and I'm booking on over to our next area. Wait, let's make this epic, okay? Just for a little entertainment. Dolphin dive! Oh, shoot! I killed myself. Alright, so dolphin diving out of that area will not save you. That was pretty funny, actually. That was pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. Now, again, we're still talking about C-dom here. We're going to look at A-dom in a minute. But with C-dom, basically what you want to do is come to this area right here and just play off this. I use this in another video actually. This concrete wall, if you will, is a great place because the enemy is going to spawn back in this corner right there. They're going to spawn in the warehouse. And there's an exit over here. And basically the enemies are going to do a couple of things from this location. They're going to go up that ladder right there to get up onto the walkway and do their sniping thing. They're going to come down through here, try to get into the B warehouse or come back for payback, or they're going to go through the bay doors. So you can basically come up here and stop all traffic, okay? You can come right here and prevent and spray guys down coming that way. If you have a motion sensor right about here, you can tell when they spawn. If you have a guy, and then you can pick off people who get on this rooftop. A lot of people like to get on that rooftop. You can easily pick them off. You can have a guy who's coming through the bay doors right there, easily clean them up. Or you can, again, just pick off people as they come along. And this is a great way to stop traffic. You're going to get a lot of kills here. Blackbirds and the UAVs are especially important in holding down this area. And again, if you get compromised here, just say, hey guys, B warehouse compromised, and then your whole team will kind of be aware of that, and you can try to retake this position. Okay, now let's flip the script. Let's say we spawn CDOM, and we got C and B, and we are spawn trapping at A. Let's look at that scenario here, and spots to do it. I'm going to start with C with B warehouse. You want two guys doing it here. Basically, you just want to get behind here and watch this area right here. Reason being is because there's guys who, the enemy team will be spawning down this area over here. They're going to be spawning behind the wall right there by those big jugs, and they're going to be spawning in that warehouse all the way over by their own flag. And we'll look at the specific spawn points later, but basically you don't want to push up right here. You want to use all the cover you can, so vary it up, go prone right here, pick off a guy who's coming back. You want to go, crouch right here, use this entire warehouse for cover. And then you might as well put a motion sensor right here so that if there's a guy coming out in the middle of the map, you can easily clean him up. I'd almost recommend to have two guys in here, one guy watching this way, one guy watching that way, although one person can in fact do both. But I think you only need one person. Hold down B warehouse and keep people off that area. Watch the middle of the map here, keep them off B, and watch this area. Now for another location, motion sensor, come back with me. Get over here. Now let's run up in here and look at what we got. Basically, this building, you also want this building if you're going to be spawn trapping at A. Motion sensor right here to watch. These stairs are still important, keep an eye on those. But another new threat is this stairway right here. Because the enemy is going to be spawning right in that warehouse, all they have to do is come out that door, run up in here, and then boom, they just have to go after you in here. So you have to keep in mind that doorway right there. I'd have a motion sensor right here so you can tell early, and have, again, two guys holding down this area. Basically, now in demolition spawns, you'll get a lot of guys spawning in that alcove right there. They're going to be spawning right there, and they're going to be spawning within that warehouse. And so coming right here, what you want to do to keep ensure that you don't keep on move the spawn is, kill a guy, turn around a bit, shuffle up your location. As you are not looking at their spawn, they will continue to spawn in the same area. So I'd have a guy here, kill a guy, kind of look away, double check your areas, and then you can come back there, and then boom, they're all they're all done really, they're all done. Now, we're going to be looking, where else is a good area? Basically, just control this building. Again, it's essential if you're going to spawn trap either side. Now, let's look at, motion sensor. Yep, let's go. I need some like intermission music or something. Now for this area, basically you kind of want to play this area to make sure. Now this one's going to be a little more tougher to do. I put out a motion sensor right about here. Again, you can kind of tell when enemies are spawning, when they're coming out. And I would kind of maybe fade around here, keep on fading, and kill people here, and then get them to come after you. Use this truck for cover, pick off people. Use this spot for cover, and then you're also going to have to probably be, watching this alleyway right here. So this person in this area, I probably have two people here, two people in this building, and then two people over by B-Dom warehouse. If you split it up like that, you can spawn trap in every location, regardless of the side. That way, that's all you need. Two people in an area, and you can stop traffic in the entire area of the map. So I'd probably have one guy right here who's mining this side, and then another guy right about here, making sure that nobody comes up the stairway. Then these two in this building can, just keep on killing them in their spawn, and then the guys in the warehouse can keep killing them, and the kills will go around. You'll get your own amount of kills, and you'll have a great time doing so. Now let's just again review the basic areas in which you want to spawn trap. I'm going to go spectator on your rear. All right, warehouse 4. I'm going to call it warehouse 4. Essential to it. You got to use the windows. Watch the bay doors when you're spawn trapping C. Have someone over by the stairway over here. When you're spawn trapping C, use this whole area to your advantage. Come over to B warehouse, have a guy either in this little, let's see if I can come over here. Yes, I could. Mind your head. Have a guy play in this area when you're going to be stopping traffic from coming in this area. And then also, if you're spawn trapping ADOM, control the B warehouse, Watch this area, watch the middle of the map, have these guys up here. You know the spots, review the video, go over it, and discuss it with your team, and you should be, having a real easy time doing some spawn traps. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you benefit from it. This is CD Mangeka, signing out for you guys.